Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room stamping with you today. We're going to make a box fold card. So this is the box fold card. So I did this on my Monday mystery stamping on November the 9th, 2020. But I wanted to make a video to show you how I did it, because on Monday mystery stamping you don't see my hands work. I tell you step by step how to do it, and then you see the end result. So this is the original card that I did, and it uses the Gilded Autumn Splendor designer paper, and the stamp sets are Love of Leaves and Beautiful Autumn. This is the one I did on my Monday mystery stamping Facebook Live using the same suite of products. And there's the fold. So I thought I would walk through how to create one with the video on my hands so you can actually see it step by step. And I'm going to use the Poinsettia Petals suite. So the dies and the stamp set and the designer paper, Poinsettia Place designer paper. These cards have embossing at the bottom on the two sides. So instead of the wrapped in texture embossing folder, I'm going to use Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. So I haven't made this one yet physically. It's in my head, and I'm hoping that it's going to transfer to a card relatively easily, but we'll see. So you need a 4 1/4 piece of cardstock. And if you're using Whisper White or Very Vanilla, you're going to want to use the thick. And if you're using regular cardstock, it's fine. Score it at 5 1/2, 7, 9, and 10 1/2. And then we can put the scoreboard away. So we have our scoring, and you need a bone folder. Fold it in half and make sure your edges line up when you do your bone fold, your score lines, to get it nice and crisp so it lays down. And then just continue on and fold the rest of them, making sure that you have the edges nicely squared up. And one more. There. Now, we've done that. We've got the fold lines nice and crisp. And we're going to use the embossing folder now. I just got to pull my machine in here because it's a little far away. And the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. And if you're using one of the smaller ones, like the wrapped in texture one, it will only emboss part of it. So you want to emboss the two sections, you want to emboss the two sections that are by the half-inch flap that you're going to put in adhesive on. But we're using a bigger one. So one thing I did forget to tell you is, oh, I didn't get any ink out. Oh dear, hang on. Early espresso. If you want to put your name on this, you have to do it now, because there's physically nowhere else to put it, because we do the back. Oh, I guess you could do the bottom. Yeah, you could do the bottom, but before you emboss, it's a good idea to put your name on. So if you do this, it tells you where you can put your name. So I'm just going to put it right here. Right there in the middle. Like that. There we go. Now close that up because I'm not quite ready for it. Okay, so now let's run this through the embossing folder. And you're going to see why I did my name first, because now this is all, most of this is going to be embossed. So I'm going to put it right up to the top where that fold line is, because I want the embossing to go right to the edge like that. And then I'm not worried about down here because that's the bottom, but you want it to be straight. It's not quite straight. Just gotta move it a bit. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna run that through the run it through the Maxi. Couldn't remember the name of my new machine. I just finished a weekend of online convention with Stampin' Up, and they were calling it Big Boss and Little Boss. Okay, now I'm just going to flip it back to die cutting again. All right, so there we have our embossing done. And then because we scored our lines so good, the lines go right back in where they were. And then we're going to put adhesive on that, but not until we get the back part on. So let's leave this here now that we've used the scoreboard. So this is going to go on here. So this one, I use the same foil here as I have back there behind the designer paper, and you can cut your label out of that before you put your designer paper on top. And I use the Hippo and Friends dies for that. Man, do I like those dies. Let me tell you how many times I've used them since I got them. I resisted buying those dies because I thought I didn't want the stamp set. And then I saw them in use, and there's 20, I think it's 29 dies in, oops. There's 29 dies in the Hippo's die set, and only 3 of them do you not use when you don't order the stamp set. The rest of them are all usable. Okay, so I had that on there. Apparently that's a little crooked too, but oh well. Letting it go. All right, now we're going to put this onto our card. This has to go on before we do the flap up because it goes down underneath the flap. Now you could make it shorter if you wanted. Okay, which way do I want this up now? I think that way. This now goes, and I'm kind of lining it up all the way around. Now I'll turn it and it'll be crooked with my luck, because I noticed that my embossing folder embossed crooked. Oh well. Okay, now I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal Plus, which is a little bit stickier than the Stampin' Seal. We'll just put a layer of that here so we can put the card together. Okay, so if you put it, you lay it like this, and then close your card like that, you'll get it exactly where it needs to be without any fiddling. Okay, so you fold up the bottom flap, keep your adhesive face up, and then fold on the middle fold and put that down like that, and then do your pressure where your adhesive is, and look at that, perfect every single time. Not bad, eh? Would look better if the diamonds weren't quite so crooked, but oh well. Okay, so we got the base of it done. Oh, I didn't get a piece for the back. I'll have to do that. And the envelope, because you know, you got to make envelopes. Okay, so we're going to stamp the poinsettia. I want to make a 3D poinsettia. We're going to ink it up and stamp it in early espresso. So that's the big one. This is the medium one. And this is the small one. And yeah. Okay. So I'm going to cut the very center, you know, the little itty bitty mini one. I'm going to cut that out of this foil, which is the foil I'm going to use to put behind the sentiment. Oops. Forgot I need to stamp some leaves. One, two, three. Okay. We'll put that away. So this piece of paper is 8.5 by 3.5. Get out the dies. And I have my dies on press and seal to hold them together, but I'm not using the embossing parts. So I'm just very gently lifting up. You don't want to lift up just by one petal, because they're very, down here they're very thin, and you can bend them very, very easily. Okay, now have to find which way they go on. There we go. And by having this press and seal on here, it acts like a post-it note to keep them in line. So you get it all lined up, and then you just push the press and seal down, and it won't go anywhere. Okay, I'm just going to lift the other one up. Oops. Yeah, that one got a little on the bent side. That's okay. Okay, now this may be that way. Nope. This way. There we go. Cut that out. And the little one. So to get this off, I'm pushing from the other side, so it helps it release. Okay, there we go. Nope, that's not it. Just when you think you got it all figured out, it says, nope, you're wrong. There we go. Now I've done the same thing to the leaves, and I've only stamped the little leaves because I don't want to use the big one, because I find it's when I'm trying to do something delicate and small, it's too that big leaf is too big for what I want. So now we'll just run that through Maxi. Okay. And they pop off of the press and seal very easily. They don't stick. It's like a big Post-it note. All right, now got some more leaves to cut out. We'll line this up. And that up like that. And then at the same time I'm going to cut one of these mini ones out. Oh yeah. It's not wide enough. Oh well. It is what it is. And I don't know whether that mini one is going to look any good or not. We'll have to find out. Okay, rid of those pieces. There's another leaf. One more leaf to go. Oops. There we are. Okay, so now to make these flowers kind of match the designer paper, I just have to poke this one out. Ooh, that's going to look cool. So to make the flowers kind of match the designer paper that we used, I'm going to get out my light So Saffron Stampin' Blends. Light So Saffron. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of color right in the very center of each of the flower petals. Just like that. I don't want too much because I don't want to make this a yellow poinsettia. I just want to kind of give them the same kind of highlights that has in it. And this will dry a little bit lighter as well. And then if you decide that it's too dark, you've got too much on there, just use your color lifter and lift some color out of it. Well, this is the bottom one, so I have to take the color out further because you're not going to see the center of it. There. So that's Light So Saffron. Now, I want to put some color on the leaves, and so I'm going to use Light Soft Seafoam and see what that does to the leaves, because I don't want to add too much color to them either. I might have to use the dark soft seafoam. You can't really see a lot of color in here, but that's going to have a little bit more color than the flowers do, because this is a really light color. And the last one, like I said, this is, I haven't done this one. This is all in my head. So sometimes what's in my head doesn't work out. There we go. Okay, now, Wink of Stella before I get too carried away, because it's easier to put Wink of Stella on now than it is after they're together. But you have to be careful because this is going to reactivate the ink. So I'm trying to keep it where I put the Stampin' Blends only. And I'm not dragging it. I'm kind of dotting it. That way I'm not pulling the ink. If it reactivates, it reactivates. Okay, this one, trying to be very, very aware of, first of all, what layer this is. And second of all, I don't want to reactivate that ink and make a brown flower. So this one, you want more of the bling on the ends, because the center is going to be covered up. I think I'll just do this right from the end in. Because this is the bottom layer. Okay. And now this is the middle layer. Give it some bling. Now you could, and I never thought of this when I cut them out, you could give them some texture too with those other pieces. These, the embossing pieces, right on top of that. So I think it'd be cool to try that. So let's see what it's going to look like. First of all, I have to line it up. There, we got it. Now I'm just putting this right in the center of those petals. And we'll see what the embossing does to these. Oh, that's cool. Now, you're not going to be able to see that, but look, it put embossing right over top of where the stamped lines are. So now, because I've done that, and it looks so cool, I need to do it again with the other ones. So that was the medium. So I need the small one. There. And the big one. Oh. There we are. Got it. And the leaf. Careful I don't lose my dies. As you know, it happens to me all the time. And I'm thinking because I'm embossing after I colored, it would be different if you embossed before you colored. Ooh, that is cool. It's very, very subtle. But the texture is there. Okay, I just have to do my other two leaves. Oh, my die moved. Don't do that. I hit it with the cutting plate. Okay. And one more. Our weather today is very cold, and they're calling for possibility of snow. It hasn't started out there yet. I need to go grocery shopping. Okay, so now we've got the embossing on there. We've done our coloring. We've got Winkastella. Now I'm just going to pinch these leaves. Give them a little bit of texture. little bit of lift. I don't know what that is. Somebody's, maybe that's hubby home. I heard a horn. Okay, so there's one. So I'm just pushing down with my thumbnail on the, right in the center where the embossing is, and pinching this together gently. I'm not bringing it all the way in, just giving it a little bit of lift there. We'll do the middle one. And I haven't decided if I want to do the leaves yet. We'll have to see. I'm having issues with my phone, and I'm thinking that it's going to want me to replace it soon. Okay, glue dots. No, I think I'll use Tombow. I really like Tombow for putting these flowers together because, oh yeah, now it won't come out, because it gives you a chance to move it if you don't get it in the right spot. Trying to get my Tombow, there it goes. Okay, don't do that over top of your project. Make sure you have spare paper to do that with. Back in the garbage, goodbye. There was a lump in there. Okay, Tombow and Tombow. Oops, don't put it down that way. Okay, so this medium layer goes on top of the big layer. And see why I like it? Because I put it down and then I can move it to where I want it. Just holding it, give it a chance to grab. And then we'll put the next layer on. Like that. And see, by doing that little bit of folding, it just gives the flower lift and doesn't look quite so dead. So this one now is going to go in the center like that. Now it's a little small to be curling up the edges, but we're going to try. Because you don't need to do much. Just push down with the fingernail while you're kind of driving the sides up a bit. Like that. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be dramatic. And one more. And then I'm going to pull these up a little bit because they have to sit right down. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Sometimes my brain, what's in my head does work when I bring it out to reality. Hey, oops. Didn't hold it long enough for it to grab on. So there we are. Move it around till it's where I want it and hold it down. There we are. Now, I did bring the beaded pearls. I'm not sure if these are going to work because they're silver. You know, I think I'm just going to leave it like that and maybe put a pearl in the center of it because I really like that. Okay. Let's get our card back here. Now this is, oops, this is going to go on here like that. I just want to hold it up so I can see how I want to put it on there. Oh Lord, that's pretty. Oh, doggy. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of lift on the leaves as well. Just because I don't want them to look flat when the whole flower's got lift. Just turn it up there. All right, so then we're going to put 2 leaves here and 1 leaf there. And we got to make sure that we don't go out past the edge of the card or you won't get it in your envelope. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the leaves there. Put Tombow on the back of the flower. Figure out how I want it, where I want it, and push it down. Take the leaves away. Put my fingers in behind so I can give good pressure. And you don't want it to hang down past here either, or it's not going to sit up straight. There we are. Then just hang on to it until it grabs hold. And look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Holy macaroni. Okay. A little bit of Tombow on each of the leaves. And I'm going to hold this, slide a leaf in there, and take my pokey tool and push it down so that it sticks. And slide one in there and do the same thing. And then the last one on the other side. And I'm just holding it down there for a couple of seconds. There's not enough green on there for me, so I'm going to get the dark soft sea foam. Put a little bit more color in those leaves. There we go. It was just not quite dark enough once it dried. It was too close to the color of the flower. Just put some color right underneath there. Now take the light one and just feather it out a bit. Oh, this is absolutely stunning. Absolutely. I love the Poinsettia bundle. Oh. Okay, now we have a sentiment. So I'll put this here now so you can keep an eye on it. Now, the sentiment's going to say Merry Christmas, but I don't know what color. I was going to put it in Cherry Cobbler. I think I will. If I don't like it, I'll just cut another piece of cardstock. It's cardstock. It's not life-threatening, right? Okay. Now this is the same stamp out of the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. Okay, this is going to go here. Relatively straight, I hope. It's crooked. I'm going to have to get my head up there so I can keep an eye on the straightness. Sure, let's go with that. Well, it's crooked the other way. Oh well. Oh well! Okay, so this is going to layer onto this piece of brushed bronze cardstock and go here like this, or go there like that. Oh, it would have been That would have been nice if we had done that. Taken it right out to the edge and cut it. Huh. Can't do it now. Can't do it now because I'm stuck on there. And I think it's not long enough to do that with. It's going to be what it's going to be. Put adhesive on it. Stuff is sticky. Put it on here. And then, nope. Has to be straight. I'm a little OCD when it comes to straight stuff. That's not perfect, but it'll do. Okay, now get rid of the sticky on my fingers. Find some dimensionals, and the big ones will work just fine. And we'll put this right there. No. Mm-mm. It's too crooked. I can't take the crooked. Sorry. I have to cut another piece of cardstock because it's just way too crooked. Just do a quick job here. There we are. So this is 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. Maybe it would look better if I did it at, instead of 3.5, did it at 3.25. So then it will have a frame all the way around it instead of just there. We'll do that. Okay. Come on, off of there. Thank you. I do like it in cherry cobbler though. So at least that worked out good. Okay, so I'm sorry if my head gets in the way, but I really have to concentrate to get this straight now. That is just weird. I wonder if the stamp went on the block wrong. Because the mass is downhill. Okay, pardon me. Because this is my last chance to get it right. Here we go. Can I live with that? No, I can't. What is wrong with me? Holy man. Okay, I cut another piece. Now I'm taking this stamp. Get my dirty paper out here so I don't get it all over my grid paper. It was on the block wrong. It has to be on the block wrong. There is no way this should be this hard for me to stamp something straight when it's a see-through stamp. Okay, pray that it works. There we go. not my fault after all. It's all because the stamp went on the block wrong. That's one of the issues with photopolymer stamps is sometimes when you put them on the block, they go on crooked. So take it off, lay it on the table, and put the block onto it instead of it onto the block. And that's going to go right there, like that. Get the backing off the dimensionals. Put this on here. Like that. Okay, get the pearls out. Let's see what it looks like with a pearl in the center of that. Yep. Perfect. Okay, so because we put pearls on, let's just add a few more pearls. Stick one up there. Stick one over there. I think it needs another one. Needs one over here too. And this one looks funny there. Put it there, put it there. There we go. Wow. I'm sure loving this. Okay, so now we're going to do the back piece and the envelope. Now where's my stamp set? Because I want to use that stamp. So this is the full one. And let's do it in Cherry Cobbler. And we're just going to put part of it on. So I've got my dirty paper here. Just put part of it in this corner. And put part of it up in the top corner, because we can. Oops, don't put it in on top of that. Okay, this is the envelope. We'll do the same thing. And then I want to put a sentiment on the back too. So the sentiment in here is "May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. Warm wishes from our home." Oh, I could do that. We could use 2 stamps. Nothing in the rules that say we can't use 2 stamps on the inside, is there? Okay. I lost my early espresso. Okay, we're going to put that, wait, get this straight, get that straight, put that right there. Gotta be careful what I put this on top of. Look, it looks like it was one stamp instead of 2. Okay, so now we'll put some adhesive on that so we can get it onto the back of our card, and then we're done. This is such a fun card to do, and I wanted to make sure that I showed you exactly how to make it. No, come on, don't do that. Don't. That's why I like this new Stamp and Seal, because if you're careful, it comes back up again. You have to be really careful though. Don't pull too hard. You got to persuade it. I probably should have put this on before I put that flower on the front. Would have been easier. There. Because I don't want to push down on the flower because it's 3D. So there you go. There's the back. And there's the front. And there's the envelope. Holy macaroni, that's pretty. So if you are looking to purchase the Poinsettia bundle, the brushed copper, the brushed copper cardstock, you get bronze, copper, and gold in the package, and the Poinsettia Place designer paper. I'll put the link in the comments below my video, or you can go to my online store. And in November, this is my current host code. I'd appreciate it if you were putting an online order in, if you could use the host code. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Stamp and smiles, and bye for now.